Please welcome to the stage Yvette Alberdingk Thijm.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So why don't we talk about truth? I grew up in a family and a culture that I believe valued and was slightly obsessed with the truth. Lying is bad, my mother told me. Bad, bad, bad. And in the Netherlands, at the time, things were quite socialistic. I grew up believing that in society, we are all a little bit responsible for each other. We need to have each other's backs. So I was thinking about what to say to you tonight, because after all, you're the good people. And so much has happened since the last time we saw each other. We've seen brave women who speak out about sexual violence being silenced and targeted. We've heard immigrant children wail, torn away from their parents and locked up in detention. If you feel like I do, it can certainly feel like everything you believed in, fought for maybe, even the truth itself is under attack. And I'm here to tell you that you are not alone, that together we will continue to fight and we will win, because it's our common values, our belief in humanity. Isn't that what brought us here tonight? This is what solidarity looks like. Please look around this room. So many of our partners, our allies, collaborators, all of us, all of you who have championed human rights, sometimes for decades, across generations. So tonight, we are celebrating all the courageous defenders who stand up for human rights. Now, last week, the White House shared a doctored video, arguably actually sourced from the far-right conspiracy site InfoWars, that made it seem like a CNN journalist was hitting a female intern. Distributing that doctored video is not only an outrageous attack on the free press, one of the cornerstones of a democratic society, it also sets a dangerous, unethical precedent of our government using propaganda to manipulate the public. It's a familiar playbook, right? It put America's leadership among autocrats, fascists, dictators, like Stalin, who routinely removed his enemies from the photos that he has in a bid to alter history. Or more recently, the Burmese government committed heinous acts of genocide against the Rohingya minority and then distributed photos to make it seem like the Rohingya villagers themselves had burned their own homes. And in Brazil, a supposed democracy, a far-right president just won the elections by flooding WhatsApp with false news. So we are on a slippery slope. And the only way to counter this is to hold on firmly to our values and to protect human rights with full force. And at Witness, we have defended the truth since a bystander captured the beating of Rodney King on camera, exposing widespread police abuse. Since then, we have defended and supported millions of vulnerable and marginalized people around the world to use video and technology to expose the wrongs and to amplify their voices. And your support is reaching and fortifying a worldwide network of defenders that we have built over the past 26 years. In Burma, we are helping a Rohingya-led collective gather, verify, and preserve undeniable footage of their government committing genocide, forcing the world to no longer sit idly by. And in Yemen, when journalists and investigators can't get in, we're helping civilians to get information and images out, supporting their efforts to collect the stories of brutal airstrikes and a devastating, preventable humanitarian crisis. one the world has turned its back on, but history cannot ignore. And in the Amazon, we've trained indigenous tribes who are on the front lines of defense in climate change. They're using drones to film evidence of illegal logging practices and rapid destruction of the rainforest. And tonight, you will hear from our amazing partners, the Border Network for Human Rights. On the US-Mexico border, we're working with grandmothers, mothers, and their teenage daughters, and we're supporting their truths too. Powerful immigrant voices. Because to change the story, you have to change who tells it. Today, our promises to all the brave civic witnesses, our manifesto, rings more true than ever. When governments spread lies and propaganda, we will ensure that your video can be trusted, can be verified, and can lead to accountability. When media is being weaponized to marginalize, to discriminate, and to divide us, we will arm you with the skills and the tools to amplify your voices, and we will keep you safe. And when social media platforms create digital wildfires of hate that sway public opinion and incite violence, we will hold them to account. And we'll keep innovating with you. We are, as we always have been, on the cutting edge of new technologies to ensure that they work for human rights and don't undermine our shared basic values. Together, we have used technology and advocacy to challenge the worst crimes, the worst abuses. We've changed discriminatory laws and policies, and we've countered hateful narratives. Because when equipped with the right guidance and tools, we are a powerful force for good. Because the world we want is one where our stories build humanity and dignity and not hate. And we are in a moment in history where what we do now will define who we are for generations to come. And together, we are creating a better world. Thank you for being here tonight.